I keep accidentally spelling hoe.
Yeah. Yeah, cause your spine, like laid out flat.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh yeah, I left my phone in there. Oh my god, I'm actually like stupid.
Alright, my fine. Have you played Stanley Parable before? No.
No.
Adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible.
Oh, you got the Ultra Deluxe from the monthly games, didn't you?
Yeah. Please enter the current time. It is...
Alright, I got a game for us to play. Just tell me when you want to play it.
7:38. Wait till it's 39 in just a second.
Starts
just
playing
wait out.
Stanley Parable, turns insane.
What is up, Julie? Aren't you off work right now? Yeah, you're definitely off of work.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rating, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Bro.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where is thy meeting room? In the
When
back
Stanley
rooms?
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I enter the one on
This
the
was
right?
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What if I go back? Go back. Okay.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good
man.
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I just don't step out of my office.
Yo, move.
I like bait the game.
Yep, and you're good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker.
I need hearts so bad, so bad, so bad. Oh my god, it's after hard. I'm so thankful. Thank the Lord for this glorious day. I don't know what I'll do.
Is him now?
This is the glorious day. And I didn't know what the shoot was.
8 Mondays, spilt coffee.
Yes, I'm killing myself.
Dang.
I didn't have any
Bad graphs.
so it wasn't the best run. It wasn't the
Or
best
company.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who is she? Black door.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
My screen's white. 427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work, was a reminder.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
no use in hiding it. You already. Who's this other dude? Who's this? It's killing mommy. It's killing mommy and his daddy. And his uncle. You don't deserve to be
I really don't think I'm supposed to be here.
Bunkus. Yo, sound like a dude.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
That's the game. Crazy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance. Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office, because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Side of the building.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. The third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
How do you, like, glitch out the map?
Kind of.
Are you sure it's not intentional by the developers?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
I mean, as you traded.
Aha!
What?
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
This game just has Firewatch
Yes,
Simulator.
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more.
I watched Joe Bartolozzi play this
venture
game,
outward
bro.
and see what else is out there.
Maybe it's the same developers.
Maybe.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Interesting. Yeah. I think I've already gone to the... Yeah, I have. So, I'm just gonna...
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Is this Rocket League?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Huh?
I thought he was playing the Stanley Parable. You know how many Easter eggs are in that game?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
I'm literally just...
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley,
What'd you say?
I thought it's probably going to make you play chess at some point.
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Hold on. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Game's like creepy now, bro. It's like the back rooms.
Dude, there was this one guy on YouTube who had like 10,000 hours on freaking the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
How many different endings are there?
I don't know, bro. At least one.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
You prosper and be in good health.
Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
It's not anymore.
The haunt.
I'm gonna write about this. Something isn't right about
When
this.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
God, I can climb the ladder.
Gets really surprised that you can climb ladder.
Let me go through. Oh my god, I just found another ending. I just find like
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Yep. Yes, and yes.
All of his co-workers were... Wait,
Yeah, we're good.
no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. See it. Bye.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of...
Be cursed by God, but you're the only one who can kill him. Or be blessed by God, but you're gonna get sacrificed by him eventually.
I don't know.
Did I say cursed on the second one or blessed?
Blessed.
Oh, thank God.
Your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I put wig. Come on, dude.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
I will die.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I will die.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
These players come off the dick.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Finally, dude.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
Okay, I should kill myself. Something to kill myself, have me gone. Let's do it, let's do it.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, yeah, it's got bombed like 3 times.
I'll invite you. Yo.
Yo.
What's up?
Nothing much.
It was okay.
You're sick.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What's that, dog?
Too personal, I suppose.
Okay, fair enough.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, sir. No, sirree.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
What fucking game are you
from
playing?
here, it's, left.
Goated. I restarted Far Cry 5 on Subwest.
Yo, I'm about to restart that shit too.
I beat it too many fucking times.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Same.
Ooh. That don't
No,
work, Tiger.
no, not the right.
I'm
Why would I
playing
have
solo, but
ever
I'm
said
not
it was to
playing
the
with,
right? What
Crispy
was I
and
thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
What?
Oh no, it won't let me fucking download Far Cry 5.
Now, let's see.
Oh, 'cause
We
you
went
don't
down,
own it.
right, left, down,
No, my mother
left,
does that.
right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Download Far Cry 5. Don't beat
Far
that.
Cry. Wait, he doesn't own it either.
What's that? That thing's on fire.
I just got automatically logged out of my brother's account.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
We might have changed the
Who
password.
am
I was
I
about to say.
kidding? It's all
Oh,
rubbish
that's-
now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, Someone's getting touched up here.
Relatable.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And,
Why are you
I tried turning it on,
When Stanley...
and I found out it's
wait,
the wrong
what?
strike pack.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
The hacks, bro.
Oh, did something
Hell
change?
yeah.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh no, that's a dude from Far Cry Primal. Never mind. I just know shit like that, you feel me? That's what race on. Oh, I'm going. See me blowing up, they see me race up. I'm good, bro. I'm gonna play some Siege solo rank.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm geeking.
I'll say it.
Yo,
This is the
Pacific, can
worst
we count
adventure
you?
I've ever been. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and
you'll
over
get
again,
my account
but it's
and
got to
I'll
be
get
better
yours.
than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I'm good.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What a fucking third one? That is too.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Oh shit.
Why don't we
Oops,
go
my
back
bad.
the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I'll let him bleed out. Oh, where the hell? Oh. Oh, gosh. They're fucking badger. The fucking badger. I don't know where.
Crispy's jorking it.
Why is that badger so fucking loud?
Cause you suck.
No, you make me jealous, restricted.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
I'm about to
Here
hit
it goes.
gold.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way
goddamn
and
badger?
retrace our
Hell yeah.
steps.
What the fuck?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all.
What?
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely
look at what I
forgotten
just
what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good
I
job.
still like fucking
Oh, no.
struggle to find shit.
No, I don't
Damn,
feel
this
right about this at all.
Damn.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
We got all the mythical, you know, like the scarred tiger, scarred bear, white wolf.
All right,
all
I've got a
that. We got all
solution.
that. Isn't
This
that
time, to
completed?
make sure we don't get lost,
No,
I've
we have to
employed
do
the
four
help
missions.
of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
So then we
Just
like
follow
2
the
or
line.
3
How
no,
simple
we
is
did
that?
Those, remember?
No, we were 67% away from beating the game.
Oh, what? Holy shit.
No, we were 67%. The way. Fuck.
Halfway, yeah, 67.
Yeah, we were,
yeah.
we were halfway.
I know what you mean. on, do you have...
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
Y'all know crazy? I'm like 7% into the story and I'm able to get every fucking animal except for like great ones. So. Cause I keep
You
putting
see,
all my coins
the
in
line
animals
knows
and
where
shit.
the story is. It's over in
Because I
this
want power
direction.
instead of
Onward,
health.
Stanley, to destiny.
The better choice for this
Look,
game.
here's a thought.
Oh,
Wouldn't
actually,
wherever
you know
we
what's
end
funny?
up be our
Is the
destination,
missions that
even
we
if there's no
missed
story there?
weren't even that
Or to put it
important.
another way, is the story of
I know
no
they're not.
destination still a story?
But I wanna like
Simply by the act of
100%
moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree
listen
that
to
the
the
nature
bears.
of existence is, in fact, a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Xbox can't fucking hit for shit. Like, we've...
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Open your mouth, dog. Get shot in the ball.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Time to go for Karoosh.
What game are you even trying to download?
Far Cry Primal, the game I'm on.
Yeah, that's not gonna freaking download. It's probably gonna be so laggy like Roblox was.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... No, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
My bad.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Get that motherfucker.
Owie.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor reads. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Get these guys too. Okay, I need this guy dead. Coming at me.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I just saw his training, like his training. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like clip farm.
Jorking it.
Straight up, I jerked my dick to it.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
That's fucking sick.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
That hurt like a bitch.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Cuban?
I think it's just this flat-out made-up language.
Is it the language that they speak in Spain?
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Damn!
It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Molly wop, molly wop.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Baby, eat $4,000.
10.
Me personally, I would eat like 50 of them.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even think I could eat one of them.
A baby?
Yeah,
Even
for
if it was
$1,000.
Like a real one.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
credits. That is? It's like, what, 100,000? My goodness. Imagine 100,000 R6 credits. That's fucking loaded.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Tickets you get for $1.
Oh, it's like 100.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
I'm gonna rape him.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Restricted when there's a minor inconvenience.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
If these party chats ever get leaked, I'm going to vital prison.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It
was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Is it roast beef brown or bubblegum pink?
What one would you prefer?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Roast beef.
Is that tapping sound in the background just you jorking it?
I'm heating up my spoon for my crack.
That's fucking sick.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Wait, is that actually true?
Yes.
From here, it's,
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
It warms up your spoon, bro. So, like, you can cut
No,
through freaking ice cream like
not the
butter.
right.
Trust me, I've done it multiple times.
Same.
Actually?
Just grab a fucking blowtorch and heat up your spoon that way.
No.
That African's gonna stop me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do you hear?
Yeah, now start it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's not going, bro. I don't hear them. There we go.
6 seconds left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Like a paper towel, idiot.
Oh, actual?
Yes. The whole spoon is made of
Stepping
metal.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What happened to my... He sounds like he's coming. No, imagine what primal sex would sound like, because they wouldn't know what an actual moaning would sound like.
Yeah, but that's what a woman actually makes.
Like
That's the pleasure sound.
primal sound.
Fuck you, you African! Fuck you, you African! Fuck you, you other African!
Yeah, after raping an African.
Shut up, Cruz.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Wait, should I get a fat bitch to come around and I stick it in her?
Nah, bro.
Nah, there was like this fucking... When I was at the pool, the
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
That means actually like massive, bro. It's huge.
No, nothing. No.
You're gonna blow.
You know it never dies? No, baby rain.
Ronald's crazy, low typically did die. So like...
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Necrophilia.
It's negrophilia.
No, it's necrophilia. Idiot.
Sure, I'm scared of niggas.
Nah, it's where you take the dead bodies and you start getting freaky with them.
Yo, I love doing that.
That's just fucking disgusting.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Call the police?
Hey, fuck them while they're still warm, you feel me?
So y'all are fucking nasty.
Fuck yeah.
Would you go to a family member?
You know I would.
Huh?
Would you do it to a family member, your mother, your
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
how does he keep coming up with all of
No,
this?
that's a bit too far.
Nah.
You're actually fucking disgusting.
I mean, a cousin. Hey, maybe a cousin, cause I was cousin.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
That's just a fucking joke.
Have you guys seen One Guy, One Cup?
One nigga, one god?
Oh my god. It's the boss's
He
office.
shoves it up his ass.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
It's shadows in his ass?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
I bet you have to shit out of a fucking pipe now. What the fuck was going on the cup of your ass? You're in the fucking autism? That's
All
actually
right.
acoustic.
I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course. Going back down the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
See me when I'm stealing.
Oh, I just want to be invisible.
But they're also not gonna see when you fucking them in their ass.
I mean, I feel like they would notice.
Fair enough, there's probably gonna be like a fucking... Fair enough, there's probably gonna be like a fucking pipe up there now.
Ain't no
Let's
way,
be honest, if you weren't in this party and you didn't
You know
say you're
what?
homophobic, bro,
I've just
you'd be
thought of
having
something.
a dude right
Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the
already have,
anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and smooth?
and reach it? Oh my goodness, I'm big.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think, I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know. People look up to you, which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
My bad, a hooker. Get him a hooker. Get him a hooker. Hey, get him some pussy.
I mean, hear me out.
Hear me out, black dudes like white guys.
Get a lot of money.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
To fight each other to the death. And just be like, whoever wins, I'll give you $1 million.
Then just run away at the end.
And then after the last one kills all the other ones, just like kill her.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable...